Yeah, I'm really pleased with how we've finished off the season. I think we've finished off really strongly the last 3 weeks, and we're obviously looking forward to now starting the final series, which is fantastic. I hope so. I haven't seen the doctor yet. I spoke to him briefly after the game. He said he was okay. He was on his way off, so I think it might have been Amon McKenna, an ex-Swanee player, but he's a pretty tough kid, Ryan. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're a bit slow out of the blocks tonight, and some of the things we wanted to get done early, we probably didn't get done as well as what we could have early, and then we got going in the second quarter, and I thought a few of the efforts in the second quarter were really good. I thought Jude Bolton was pretty important early in the second quarter and gave us some real energy and life in the forward line and also on ball, and we got our midfield got going in the second quarter as well. Yeah, often it goes hand in hand with your intensity, and when your intensity's up, like it has been the last 3 weeks, we've been having scoring shots, and whilst we didn't kick that accurately against the Saints, we had plenty of scoring shots last time, and obviously last week was good, and again tonight. So we've tried some different players in that part of the ground. It's great to see Gary Rowan, back in the team. He gives some real life in that area, and Matt Spanger, competes really well for us and was able to finish off with a few goals along with Jude. Gary Rowan? He probably started a little bit quiet, but then I thought he got going and played really well, especially half time. He's been a player that's been out obviously most of the year, and we're always hoping he'd come back and make an impact. We wanted him in the team. We know he's a good player, and for him to come back in the team after missing so much footy the last 3 weeks and have an impact both as sub, I thought he was good last week and good again tonight. I think he's an interesting player. He's not only is he lightning quick, he's a good mark, and he's really hard, and he loves tackling. So obviously as coaches you love those type of players, and I think a few of the younger players now are starting to find their feet a bit. I thought Alex Johnson down back's another one, and so some of the younger kids now, Hannah's has obviously played 50 games and maturing, but some of the younger kids looking pretty comfortable playing senior footy, which is good. It's a good problem to have. It's obviously we need to sit down in match committee and work through that next week. We'll look at what the opposition lineup looks like and make some decisions. It was obviously missing a centre half forward and centre half back, and still having a good win was pleasing against a team that last week was really competitive against the top 4 team in West Coast, and was good against Collingwood. So I thought the boys that played tonight all contributed well. I was really last night. Reg was a bit crook last night, but Sam Reid was actually a bit tight on Thursday, and he started jogging laps, and then we were hoping he was able to do some more running yesterday. He was able to run a few laps and then got tight when he tried to up the ante a bit, and he's a young kid who's been super for us, and he couldn't sprint, so we didn't want to risk him tearing anything, so we gave him a rest. Oh no, we would have played. We were pretty keen to win tonight, and if he was right, he was playing. We weren't resting anyone. We were going to make sure we keep the foot down, and that's what we've got to make sure we do. What we've done the last 3 weeks, we're to continue to do. I mean, obviously a lot's been said about Jared's ability to be able to focus on what he needs to focus on. It's still a really tough time for him, as you can imagine. So he takes it day by day, and he's able to focus on his family and look after his family, which is important for him. And then, to see him come out at training the other day was great. The players really got around him and enjoyed having him there. He then spent some more time at home, which is what he needs to do, and then obviously to come out and play today. And hopefully, I think Goodsy's hit the nail on the head yesterday, when hopefully makes him feel better for a couple of hours. And, I think he focused pretty well on the game and did a good job for us. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a quality, absolute quality person, as everyone knows, and he's able to make that decision. He's earned that right, and he'll make the decision how he's feeling, and we just take it day by day with him. The team, yeah, we found it relatively easy to focus on this team because we actually looked at their team and they've been really competitive. They had some good footage last week, so it was, when we were preparing the team for tonight's game, it was a lot to play for. In regards to the possibility of a home final, plus also the fact that we wanted to keep in form, which is the most important thing. Is that we didn't want to have a let off in our form, so it was good to finish off the game and the season in strong form. Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, we've played St Kilda, who had won 6 out of 7 before we played them. Obviously Geelong last week, and Brisbane here. We're hoping that the players feel confident that when we bring our trademark style of footy and we play hard, contested football, that we can compete with some of the better teams in the competition. We know we need to do that for 4 quarters. Even when we lapse tonight, we weren't that good for 10 or 15 minute periods, and we've got to make sure we do that continually against the best teams who are in the finals.
Do you think was that the one game that really gave a massive boost in self-belief, or was that really
I think we started to get a bit of confidence after playing St Kilda, that we started to get back to the basics of our game. And after the Richmond game, you try and fix a few things in your football, and we stripped it back and just concentrated on our trademark and just being hard and contested and worrying about effective tackles and just basic parts of the game. And since we've done that, it's just helped us get a whole heap of things right. And if you get your foundation of your game right, other things tend to follow, which has been pleasing.
John, 2 weeks ago you said Jared came through and asked to play half-back. Did he come to you tonight and say that he play on Simon Black because that's where his matchup was for what we had?
No, he was happy to play anywhere tonight, and I'd imagine he'd be the same next week. He enjoyed it across half-back, but he's an important player for us wherever he plays, and I'll talk to him often during the week, obviously, and have some discussions on where he plays next week.
He's giving you a bit of run and a bit of variety of half-back.
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, Reece Shaw has done a fantastic job for us this year. I mean, he's had a great season, Shawry, and to have Mako back there has been beneficial for us. But we know, obviously, Malcheski came back into the team tonight. So we've got a bit of flexibility to be able to work out what we do across our defence. I'm not sure how Louis Roberts-Thompson went today. He was playing in our reserves. We were hoping to get him through the game today in the reserves. He's only missed a couple of weeks, but we thought it was important for him to have a good hit out in our twos today. So I'll have to find out when I leave here how he went. So he's a chance. He's obviously a good player who can play in the ruck. He can play forward. He can play down back. So he's a chance to come into the team. And we've got a number of others in that mould as well. There's Seaby's been playing well. Pike's been playing well. Jared Moore. There's Trent Dennis-Lane. There's a number of players. Brett Meredith obviously played last week that we can look at if we need them. Yeah, I think it's a good point. It's something that one of the assistant coaches actually mentioned it after half time. You need to something that they're probably not used to is coming out after half time and the conditions were quite different. So it's a learning experience for us. One of the assistant coaches actually brought it up, but we probably need to address it if we're going to play in that time slot, which I thought was pretty good.